Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is TK. It is Monday again. It is Monday, June the 16th. We are here to look at the new releases that are published this week. And for the very first time being published anywhere, I do try to make sure they are new publications. And on Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. Hope you had a good weekend. Or you're having a good Monday, whenever time you are listening to this. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Monday nights. Our next sprints are on Tuesday, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Good morning, Mary. Happy Monday. Great. Oh, and dreary here in Virginia with rain over the weekend, too. Finished my book yesterday since it rained all day. On to the next one. Yay for finishing. We've been in the 80s. We've had some thunderstorms and hail, but it's all been around us. And tornado sightings, but it's all gone around us. So we have been very lucky. All right, let's jump in. We're going to start on this end and then flip to the other end. Because right as I was putting them together, I saw some big names. So, and then at the bottom, when I'm able to flip it, it's more by publication date. Laura Lippman is venturing into cozy mystery land with a character from her procedural series having a side quest. And this is called Murder Takes a Vacation. Laura Lippman. Don't know if it's going to be a new series or not. Lots of blurbiage here. Mrs. Blossom has a knack for blending into the background, which was an asset during her days assisting private investigator Tess Monahan. But when she finds a winning lottery ticket in a parking lot, everything changes. She's determined to see the world that she sometimes feels is passing her by. When Mrs. Blossom booked her cruise through France on the MS Solitaire, she did not expect to meet Alan on her transatlantic flight. He is the first man who's sparked something inside her since her beloved husband passed. She also didn't expect Alan to be found dead 24 hours later in Paris, a city he wasn't supposed to be in. Now, Mrs. Blossom doesn't know who to trust on board the ship, especially when a mystifying man, Danny, keeps popping up around every corner, always present when things go awry. He is convinced that Alan was transporting a stolen piece of art, and Mrs. Blossom knows more than she lets on regarding both the artifact and Alan's death. Mrs. Blossom's questions only increase as the cruise sails down the Seine. Why does it feel like she is being followed? Who is Alan and why was he killed? Most alarmingly, why do these mysterious men keep flirting with her? Well, honey, because you're nice. Did you have a good weekend, Mary? Murder on Rotten Row by Elizabeth Rose, second in a Harlow and Fitch historical mystery. I've not read this series, can't say good or bad in my reading experience. A woman is found dead in an alley. Oh, this is the medieval one. A woman is found dead in an alley at the bad part of town called Rotten Row. She's thought to have been bludgeoned to death, but as Lady Vivian Harlow and Sheriff Zachariah Fitch investigate the crime, it is soon realized that she was poisoned. Lurking in the shadows of this filthy, disgusting part of town is the murderer, watching their every move. Because of a severe rat infestation on Rotten Row, a rat catcher has been hired, and the townfolk refer to him as none other than the Pied Piper. With a young lad to assist him, the Pied Piper, a black cat with multicolored eyes, and two ferrets have managed to terrorize just about everyone, especially the children. With Lady Vivian's bloodhound Grunt trying to sniff out the murderer's trail, the search is on to find the killer before he strikes again. But with no definite suspects, motives, or clues, the sleuths find it challenging to move forward with the investigation. Then the unthinkable happens one night on Rotten Row, and Vivian and Zachariah need to take the investigation to a new height when the children of the town end up in grave danger. Every minute that passes by without answers could be the difference between life and death. Says a thrilling romp through medieval times. I don't think of medieval times as romping. Like trudging. There were a lot of bad things during the medieval times. Mary says, I did have a good weekend. Quiet due to rain, but that was fine. Don't mind quiet. How about you? Is Steve on the mend now, and is Keo doing better? Yes and yes. Steve had a gun tournament to run on Saturday. And there was Stanley Cup game Saturday night. He had Formula One to watch yesterday. So he was occupied. And Keo and I just hung out. Beach Reads and Deadly Deeds by Allison Brennan. She's also venturing into cozy land. She's normally not cozy. Maybe they know where the money's going. Mia Crawford is responsible to a fault. She has to be. Between her high-demand job and taking care of her grandmother and her cats, she has little time for anything else. What time she does have, she pours into reading, mysteries, romances, thrillers, books filled with women who are far more impulsive than she would ever dream of being. Now, forced into taking a long overdue vacation, she finds herself on a luxurious private island where she just might have a chance to reinvent herself. For a little while, anyway. She can explore the island, flirt shamelessly with a cute bartender, have a vacation fling, live like a heroine in one of her favorite novels. Or she can curl up with a good book on the beach. Turns out reinventing yourself is easier planned than done. But when gossipy notes written in the margins of an old book turn out to be clues to the disappearance of another guest, Mia finds herself diving headfirst into a dangerous adventure. With everyone at the resort hiding secrets of their own, she'll have to solve this real-life mystery before she becomes the next target. A Novel Murder by E.C. Nevin. In the quaint town of Hazlewit, the biggest names in crime writing have congregated to celebrate all things bookish and murderous. Author Jane Hepburn is determined to make her time at the Killer Lines Festival worthwhile. This is her chance to change her fortunes and make her fictional private detective Baker a household name. And if she has to resort to sneaking into the book tent after hours to rearrange some books so hers are front and center, so be it. But when Jane encounters the dead body of renowned and reviled literary agent Carrie Marks, the festival takes a decidedly different tone. Joined by Carrie's newest client, debut novelist Natasha Martez, the agency's hapless intern Daniel Thurston, Jane decides to put her fictional sleuthing skills to use in the real world. She's going to solve the murder, but the list of suspects is long. Seemingly everyone at the festival has a motive to kill Carrie, and the more Jane and her new friends investigate, the closer they come to a dangerous truth, one that is stranger than fiction. End of that row. And now we're going to flip it. Flip it good. I did have a strange thing happen this weekend. So I ordered some new towels for the bathroom because the ones we have are old. There's not very many. You have to cycle through them more quickly. So I said, yeah, let's splurge. Let's get some towels. And so got a bunch of towels. One of which was those beach sheets. They're like huge mungus. And they came in a set of 2. So I got 2 of 2 for a total of 4. Got some more tanks and I got some earrings. And when I got home from my hair trim on Saturday, there were a lot of boxes on the step. I went, well, that's weird. I don't remember ordering that much. So I opened the big box and it had the 2 sets of 2 towels, a yellow tank, a striped tank, and a set of 3 tanks in black, white, and gray, and the earrings. Oh, yay, it's here. Open up the next big box, which was kind of surprising to me, and it was an exact duplicate. So now I have 8 big, super big towels. I have, what was that? 10 tanks now. 2 of this, 2 of the yellow, 6 of the other, and 2 sets of identical earrings. And they didn't charge me, as far as I can see. They have not charged me double for it. But it was like, okay, now I have a lot of towels. Because on top of that, I'd gotten like the regular bath sets. So I have a lot of towels now. Ellie Alexander has a new one, A Body at the Book Fair. Book 6 in A Secret Bookcase Mysteries. I had thought we had done this one before, but it is being released today. And the paperback was earlier, but I don't usually do the paperback when there's a Kindle. I mean, life is good for Annie. She's found healing at the Secret Bookcase, her beloved Agatha Christie-themed mystery bookstore in the cozy town of Redwood Grove, and is on the brink of launching her very own detective agency. But she's still haunted by one unsolved case, the murder of her best friend Scarlett 10 years ago. When Annie heads to Santa Clara for their annual book fair, she's looking forward to meeting fellow book lovers. And she's also got a secret mission. She'll be close to Silicon Summit Partners, the powerful investment firm she just knows had a hand in Scarlett's death. But when an industry colleague is murdered at the book fair, Annie is first on the scene to investigate. The suspect list reads like a book lover's who's who. A celebrity author with a suspicious agenda, a rival with a grudge, and even a kindly grandmother pursuing her lifelong dream of owning a bookstore. With her fellow bookseller and crime-fighting partner Fletcher playing Watson to her Holmes, can Annie catch the killer before they strike again, and will it distract her from her mission to finally bring her best friend Scarlett's murderer to justice? And I forgot to click on it, so we'll give it its moment. Emily says, you can never have too many towels, in my opinion. Yeah, these are the big, like, 80-inch ones, so they're going to take up a lot of... Very true, though. I am set for towels, probably for the rest of my life. Very from the sublime to the ridiculous. Yeah, I didn't need 2 pairs of the exact same earrings, though. The tanks I'll wear. Very. Hi, Emily. Good to see you this morning. All right. Yeah, I mean, you can never have too many white tanks or black tanks or gray tanks, but 2 of the stripe and 2 of the yellow. The yellows are eyelets, so it would be very obvious it's the same tank. Only not. A Spell to Discover by Poppy Bridgman, 5th in The Witch of Henbane Island. Henbane Island's annual festival is in full swing, and Kasi Fortuna is ready to enjoy the festivities until a whispered warning shatters the illusion of safety. The talismans mean to shield the townspeople seem to be doing the opposite, and when a long-lost diary resurfaces, it reveals an unsettling truth. Someone has been weaving a spell of control for years, and their grip is only tightening. As Kasi digs deeper, she uncovers a dangerous connection between the hexed talismans, a hidden chain spell, and the unknown conspirator, the person lurking behind every dark turn on the island. With each unraveling enchantment, his power weakens, but desperation makes him reckless. When the festival reaches its peak, so does the battle for Henbane's future. All right. You know, I would have loved to get duplicate of some yarn, because that can be sometimes expensive. But Emily says, hi, Mary. I'm sort of awake, had about 4 hours of sleep each night since, I'm glad I remembered to hop on. I appreciate you hopping on. Hopefully you're going to be taking a nap later. I love mid-morning naps. But they frown upon that at work. Harvest on the Hill by H.C. Cardona. 6th in the Cherry Blossom Bay mystery series. When a beloved local is found dead just days before Cherry Blossom Bay's fall festival, amateur sleuth Piper Rose is thrust into her most personal case yet. With the victim tied to a decades-old land dispute and whispers of foul play stirring up small-town tensions, Piper must navigate feuding families, festival chaos, and a murder that may not be as straightforward as it seems. Juggling her new anatomy class and the brooding professor who might secretly enjoy assigning psychological warfare as homework is hard enough. Add in working side by side with Kitsune, her infuriating cinnamon roll in a trench coat boss, and the lines between crime solving and emotional catastrophe are starting to blur. As the suspect list grows and the cider spice charm of autumn turns a little too sharp, Piper has to decide who she can trust before the killer decides who's next. On the Hunt by Marcia De Filippo. 7th in a Cozy Quilts Club mysteries. Says it's 7th in the series, but can easily be read as a standalone. Ted Hartley's hunting accident might never have been exposed as a murder if it had not been for Jennifer Ryder's gift of psychometry. While making a memory quilt for Ted's widow, she has a vision that tells a very different story of what happened the day Ted died. She and her fellow Cozy Quilts Club members aren't afraid of a challenge, and this is no exception, as they use their paranormal skills to solve the mystery of the killer's identity and the reason Ted was murdered. Join Jennifer, Eva, Annalise, and Sarah in their quest to find justice to Ted and his widow, Rachel. Along the way, you might find yourself wishing you could be part of this group of quirky quilters and experience their bond of friendship. Well, that's just not nice to say. End of that row. Blueberries, Beagles, and Bodies. Doggone Cupcake Mystery, book number 1 by Liz Lamar. Mary says, I have some terrible sleepless nights too. Yep, Emily, it's all the solar activity that is causing it. Tired of it, literally as well as figuratively. Yeah. I'm not really a napper, says Emily. I doze but don't fall asleep. And we're having roof work for the next several days starting tomorrow, so I want to get stuff done around the house today, as I'm going to be spending my days in coffee shops and libraries for the next several days to avoid listening to the pounding. That makes sense. I think some of it has been I had a pint of beer with dinner Friday and Saturday. My menopause self didn't like that. Alcohol keeps me up somehow. You have the opposite of a lot of people. That happens sometimes. Some people take like the antihistamine, like Benadryl or whatever, to make you sleepy, and it has the opposite effect. In quiet Plum Grove, sisters Dorothy and Cynthia run DC's Bakery, a haven of camaraderie for the town's quirky characters. A shocking discovery shatters their world. Someone has murdered the town's wealthiest man, Vernon McGrady, right behind their shop. When Police Chief Ned Duran hastily arrests their baker, Jason Whitehead, using his past against him, Cynthia refuses to stand by. Convinced of Jason's innocence, she plunges into a risky investigation. Unraveling small-town secrets, Cynthia races against time to expose the true killer and save Jason from a wrongful conviction. And for once, I want to know what the beagle's name is, and they don't. I love beagles. I also love Akitas, Keo, don't worry. A Spy in the Sand by Courtney McFarlane, 18th in a Razzie Cat Cozy Mystery Series. After dealing with back-to-back murders, Hannah, Razzie, Ben, and the boys are all too ready for some rest and relaxation when Ben's corporate espionage client pays to send them to a tropical island to oversee a team-building exercise. They expected sand, fun, and plenty of sun. Add in a little light sleuthing on the side just to keep things interesting, and it sounds like the perfect vacation. What are the odds of that happening? Ben's got something up his sleeve and some big plans, but they get derailed when a body washes up on the beach. Now they're up to their collective eyeballs in a murder investigation, and not everything is as it seems. He says, Benadryl makes me hyper. Yep, see the opposite. I had an allergic reaction to a med in my 20s and had to keep Benadryl in my system for 48 hours. No sleep for 2 days. That is no fun. Mandrake and Murder by Corinne Winters, 12th in the Willowmere series. Winter has settled over Willowmere, and with it comes a wreath auction. Okay, got it now. I was thinking it was a name. Poison Toast, and a legacy rewritten in sympathetic ink. When a visiting folklorist collapses at the Solstice Festival and the grand prize wreath vanishes, Maeve Everhart hears more than grief echoing through the pines. The town suspects misfortune. Maeve smells forged memory and magic laced with murder. As ink bleeds from cursed ribbons and old journals stir with lies, Maeve races to unmask a killer who's weaponizing Hazel's name and rewriting her story with fatal precision. Her only allies, a sarcastic cat, a craftsman who feels the orchard breathe, and a river that remembers everything because the spell wasn't broken. It was just waiting for a crowd. some reason those words were not smoothly going together. Dying to Sell by Ellery Adams and Tina Radcliffe. 9th in the Hope Street Church Mysteries. When an unscrupulous real estate agent tries to strong-arm a wealthy friend of Grammy Lee's into selling her stately home, Cooper and her Bible study friends are called in to investigate before any crime has been committed. Grammy's fear is that the man is so devious he'll try to bump off her friend in order to get his hands on the estate. But before Cooper and the gang can do much more than confirm he's as sketchy as Grammy suspects, someone else takes matters into their own hands and takes the agent out of the picture permanently. The Bible study group knows that even the wicked deserve justice, so they continue to investigate, this time to catch a killer. There's a full roster of service staff heading up their list of suspects, along with the elderly homeowner herself. Then Cooper learns that the feds have taken an interest in the case, and suddenly she and her friends begin to worry they're in real danger, because nothing about this case is what it seems, and while charity may begin at home, this home is full of secrets that may cost Cooper her life. And it says, includes heavenly recipes from Magnolia Lee's kitchen. End of that room. Oh, and the bell is about to ring, so everybody remember we were at Dying to Sell. All right, where's my phone? Okay, well, again, I don't have any sprints tonight. They are tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, yep, it is going to go off pretty soon. Like right there. All right. And Mary says, thanks so much. Good to see you this morning. Good to see you. Good luck, Emily, with the roofers. I like your plan to inhabit the library and coffee shop, so see you later. I'll do my best. It's a Monday, though. It's crazy. All right. Tomorrow we look at crime fiction and a thriller, so the darker side of mysteries. Thank you guys so much. If you're watching now, if you're watching later, thank you. Appreciate it. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.